Good evening, fellow viewers. Good evening, Amberlanders. You are all welcome to this great day. We're sorry for a bit, about 8 minutes late. That's due to the technicalities. Today we are talking on the in-depth of the LGA Amber Peace Plan. Your uncle, you have me, myself, Secretary Elad, and Secretary Ambrose, Home Affairs. For those who receive my callings for you guys to be with us this evening, I introduce Secretary Ambrose as the architect of this Amber Peace Plan. And today we have the opportunity to bring Secretary Ambrose live, myself as a member of the committee of this Amber Peace Plan mobilization group. We'll be asking some questions to Secretary Ambrose, and still we'll be receiving your questions through the email that I sent out. So, Secretary Ambrose, you're welcome.
Yeah, welcome and good evening, Secretary Dr. Elad from Europe. I hope you're doing fine in mainland Europe. And good evening to all the brothers and sisters on Ground Zero. Good evening to our brothers in Asia. And good evening to our brothers or good afternoon to our brothers in America. I'm happy to be here, and I'm pleased to talk to the people about the Amber Peace Plan, defending your county, LGA by LGA, local government area by local government area. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Ambrose. It's a pleasure. I know you've been talking a lot on this topic, but you shouldn't worry that we'll be bringing you all the time, because every time, I know a fortnight ago, you're live explaining how this concept is going to be implemented. But still, I would tell you, when we meet people on the street and when people call us, the concept is really different from what you are saying. So that is why today, as the architect behind this Amber Peace Plan, can you briefly, you can take your time, please, because I won't say briefly, can you enlighten us, the Ambazonians, on the government policy around defending our county by county, that's a local government area by local government area?
Okay, so Secretary Elad, I would be pleased to explain to the people the policies put around the Amber Peace Plan. So the very first thing is going to be simple. We want to build a big society. And in order for you to build a big society, it is important that you look at those units of that society, small units that are well managed, that are efficient enough. Because building a big society will mean families will have to start coming together, households will start coming together, then we move into villages, from villages into local government areas, from local government areas into counties, from the counties into the states. And then that is where we have the big society, Ambazonian Federal Republic, which is going to guide us, which we are going to use leverage in order to get our freedom. So I've divided this into two sections. We'll be talking of Ground Zero and we'll be talking of the diaspora. So we have two civil societies. There is the civil society on Ground Zero, which I will call is a society we want to secure and give them freedom. Then there is a civil society in the diaspora, which I will call the big society, because what we are trying to do with this reorganization in the diaspora is to increase the potential, the financial potential, the economic potential of those in the diaspora to be able to get enough resources to secure our civil society on Ground Zero, which is under threat. So we are trying to, how are we going to do this? You can only do this if you bring people together from grassroots level. It will involve things like change how decisions are made in the government. If decisions are based on broad-based consultation, I believe things will happen easily and things will happen more efficiently. If decisions are based on grassroots level, that is bottom-up approach, instead of the top-down approach, I believe it is going to filter into each and every member of the Amazonian society. So the government has decided from this day on to give power to the people. And this power is given to the people at the local government level. So the people will be able to elect their representatives. These representatives will be able to communicate with those on ground zero, identify their needs, be it the self-defense needs, be it humanitarian needs, and then use this information to be able to fund the needs of these people and to be able to pass to the government so that the government has a clear overview of its people and how they are doing. Thank you.
Wow, that was brilliant, Secretary Ambrose. You have already started to touch on the structure. So I would like you to expatiate on this structural form. And please try to link the structure on the ground, that is the civil society, the building of this structure. How is it related? What are the connections with the government? So this structure on the ground and the connection with the government, how do they interact?
Okay, Dr. Elad, that is a good question, and I will take my time to explain these things. So let us start in the diaspora. The diaspora, the intention is for mobilization of funds to be able to sustain ground zero. So for you to be able to mobilize funds, you need to spread your wings so that you have to avoid donor fatigue. You need, lots of people on board. And the only way you can be able to get lots of people on board is you have to leverage existing structures, like the country meetings, family meetings, student unions, and all the like. These are the structures that will be able to help you now identify, first of all, because we will have to elect at the level of a country of residence where you are. We do elect, or we are expecting each local government area to elect a local government area representative, a type of coordinator in that country of residence. He can be able to tell us, he will wake him up from sleep, how many people from his local government area are there. For example, if I take Santa, if somebody is elected in the United Kingdom to represent Santa, we can be able to call him and ask him how many members of your communities are there in the United Kingdom, and he can tell you, oh, if it's about families, couple, we have this, we have 20. So we can have a complete statistic of the Amazonians all over the world. So now, at the country level, we are electing local government area representatives. But at the worldwide level, because we don't want to work in silos, it means that all the LGA representatives from the different countries for that particular LGA do come together and elect a local government area administrator. That is a worldwide administrator. For example, I take again, let us take Tuba. It means that for Tuba, a local government area, there will be a local government area administrator. And for this structure to function very well, because we don't want to overburden an individual, we would say they should elect a committee. That committee will be formed of him. That means a chairperson who is the local government area administrator. And then we have the secretary general, we have the treasury, and that means we have different departments. You have the finance department, you have the health and social service department, you have the defense department, and you have the communication department. These key departments, these key 4 departments should be able, people in their local government areas worldwide should form that. When you form that, then it is easy for you to be able to say, oh, the communication department, your job is go and identify people who belong to Tuba and let them come together and let us push this struggle. Let us contribute. Let us fund ground zero. That is what we're doing here. But again, you still now look at, you'll be asking me, but that organization seems to go where in the diaspora. What about Ground Zero? Again, because Ground Zero is at war, and we want to protect our people as we have been doing. So the local government area administrator and his committee that are elected should be able to identify somebody on Ground Zero in their local government area who is trustworthy, responsible, and he should be a ghost in the sense that he should remain secret. This team of people will be able to coordinate the activities of that local government area on the ground. They should be able to talk together with the restoration forces, to understand the needs of the people who are internally displaced, to understand the needs of the people in that local government area, and then transform these needs as queries to those in their diaspora who would then in turn generate funds to be able to meet these needs. So am I clear with that?
Well, very clear, Secretary Ambrose. There is one thing that, we Ambazonians, what I've realized is that we are very, very intelligent. I know any word that somebody uses has to be very careful. I realize you use the word, we will elect, we. Can you please elaborate on who is this we? Are you saying we as we in our own local government area, or we, the government, the IG?
Okay, that's a good question. A good example I'm going to take, I've visited a lot of local government areas already to educate them on what to do. So the election, those who are going to elect their leaders are the local government area, the indigents of that local government area. They know themselves. One thing is to make the work easier for people, for us to kickstart, like some local government areas, a good example, I think, is Ngi. What they did is they elected first the worldwide administrator and form an executive. So they already have a platform, and then they begin to say, okay, the countries you send in their local government area representatives who will now form their assembly for that local government area. It means that the local government area representative now will be elected. Their names will be sent to the central command of that committee, and then their job will be to mobilize resources in those countries in which they are resident. They themselves will have their own bank accounts. One thing is important because we are dealing here with funds. There is issue about bank account which people have been talking about. The local government areas create their own bank account, exercise due diligence by putting in 2 or 3 signatories on it. Okay? Now, because we want to stop this flow of fake accounts around, it is advisable that the leverage resources we have, such as the home page, the AmazonianGov.org, the leverage that, put that information there, the webmaster will put that information there, so that a person from a specific local government area, if he or she wants to pay money into an account, he or she can be able to verify to see that this account is not fake. Well, we know people need money, but again, there are still some miscreants who are out there trying to take hard-earned currency from Ambazonians who are trying to support people back at home. So that is a step the government has taken. To be able to make it also interesting, we want people to find it easy to pay money into their local government areas. So the government is also providing platforms, such as on the homepage, you go there, register on AmazonianGov.org, and then you can be able to, that's one method of payment. Again, one method of payment, you can go there, you select your local government area, and then you pay your money, because the accounts of the local government areas will be linked to that. That money will go directly into that account, and the treasurers for this local government area can be able to confirm that they have received your money. Now, if the other method of payment is out of not online, is you can pay to your local government area representatives. Once once you have this elected local government area representation in a specific country of your country of residence, you can pay that money into their accounts or designated accounts that they provide, and then they can now channel that money into the accounts of the local government area, the major account, which will be visible there on the homepage. Thank you.
That's great, Secretary Ambrose. Wow. It's not for nothing that you are called one of the architects behind this plan, because you're bringing me right into the in-depth of all these things. Well, you have just talked about accountability and transparency. I was just about to jump onto this question, but you've already brushed that side. Now, yeah, it's not everything we hear from outside that we bring in, but there are some certain things that one really needs to make it clear to the people. Because now I was trying to connect you how these things, this election has nothing to do with the IG, and it's the people themselves that are responsible in electing or nominating their own people, and the IG has not. Some of us who are doing the mobilization now, it has been already accused on us that is the IG that is putting people now on various local government area. Can you just brush out that a bit? Because we are just, as I know, I'm just doing the mobilization. And even in my own local government area, that does not give me any guarantee to even be somebody there elected. It can be when everything is already established, I won't have any position. So can you just elaborate on that, please?
Oh, sure. Thank you. I received some emails and I received some concern, especially our colleague from Switzerland about that. So what I can tell each and everybody here watching is we want to build a society right now, and we want that foundation to be solid. And the only way you can build that solid foundation is based on sincerity. It's based on clarity on every step. Everything you're doing is based on that. So what I'm telling you now, take it as gospel truth. The government is committed to giving power to the people. The government is committed to building the big society that we need to be able to make the Federal Republic of Amazonia a proud place for our parents, our brothers and sisters, and everybody will know to live in. So when we started the AMBA Peace Plan, we look at it, 13 countries will give you 54 LGAs. 14 countries will give you 60 LGAs. But now we were looking at how do we put in facilitators. This is what I will repeat, facilitators. People who will be able to help bring people together. Because somebody will come and ask me, oh, I'm from Bamising. Or do you know any other person from Bamising? I will say, okay, good, you are from Bamising. I will give you a task. Bring 5 people from Bamising together. Then these 5 people, you give them a task, bring another 5 people, and then you start building your community. Suddenly, you discover that you have a forum, that you have 100 people from that local government area there. So in the cases, we look at the list, and then members of cabinets who belong to certain local government area, after all, they belong to that local government area. They are proud to belong to that local government area, and they are willing to put in resources. They are willing to put in their time to mobilize people in that local government area. So we say, okay, good. Your job should be go to your local government area and try to bring people together. In places we couldn't be able to find people to do, we try to put facilitators there. Say your job is, can you be able to find people from this local government area around your area of residence, around the country of residence, or around the world, and then start bringing them together, because we want to fast track this project. Because if we sit and wait for people to come together by themselves, I think we're going to be relatively very slow. So we decided to put these facilitators in place. These facilitators are just there to ease your job, to bring people together, and let's start working together, mobilizing people, raising funds together for our people, because we know the needs of our people are there. I am telling you, when you watch videos from Ground Zero, oh God, there are tears that will flow from your eyes. You ask yourself, if we keep quiet and don't defend these people, if we keep quiet and don't feed these people, there will be famine in our country, a rich country like the one we have. Amazonia with fertile soil, there will be famine. People will be starved to death. Because if you even look at images of our health centers, of our hospital, you ask yourself, is there any doctor who is left there? So people are dying in bushes because they can't afford simple medication. People are dying in bushes because they are running away. I watch videos of roadblocks. I mean, I respect the young people back at home doing everything. They want to protect their people. They put all those solid roadblocks, and the enemy still come and spend his time, take it off and chase these people who are already hiding in the bushes. How long is this going to go on? So we need to fast track this. We need to help our people, and we can only do this if we come together, no, irrespective of which group you belong to, whether you're ADF, whether you're SOCADEF, whether you're Southern Community. Now is go to your local government area, get engaged with your brothers and sisters, start talking with them, brainstorming on how you can be able to help your people. You are ambassadors to these people in this world. You were actually chosen and sent to the world, because without you, the images of the atrocities happening on Ground Zero will never get to the seashores of Europe. But thank God, you are here and you are representing your people. You've been doing a lot. You moved this revolution to a different level. But I'm telling you, you can do more. It is just like we are in a race, okay? This is almost the last bend to the home straight. And how we negotiate this bend depends on all of you, on all Amazonians. It depends on me, it depends on you, and it depends on every single Amazonian who has ever graced this earth. This is how you will secure the future of the people. This is how you will free your people. So please, leave the small talks around, concentrate, focus on helping your people. We know it is tough. We know some of you have been contributing until you are bleeding. But let me tell you, the Lord will always provide. Just keep on doing the good work you're doing, and then try to pull your brothers and sisters who have not been able to engage fully in supporting our people. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Ambrose. Thank you for this. You know, you've talked about contributing, bleeding. You know, you bring me now. I was not going to this question, but I will just put the chronological order of moving. You talked about contributing. You talk about people coming together, no matter what group you belong to. You talk about supporting their local government areas. Now, tell us, what is the function of the interim government in all this? Because, okay, if I go to my local government area, we contribute our money. Are we about to use it without any influence or initiative or whatever intervening from the interim government? Are you trying to say we take our decisions, we make our projects, we do everything for ourselves? And that is one question. And it will join with another question, which if we are now taking the powers on ourselves, do you see any risks of increasing more warlords than reducing it, as we are seeing some of it now?
Again, AMBA Peace Plan, defending your county, local government area by local government area. It's a government initiative. There are policies which we've defined clearly to be able to help us build a big society. You don't build a big society in silos. You collaborate with each other to build a big society. You are part of the big government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. All of us in different local government areas, we form the intergovernment. The intergovernment is a structure that governs the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. It is not me here as your Secretary of State for Home Affairs and Resource Mobilization. I may not be there tomorrow, but nothing stops me from contributing what I want to contribute to that state, what I want to contribute to Ambazonia, what I want to contribute in building that society. So let's not confuse things here. The government has an oversight over the local government areas. That is why I will start with one thing is elect people who are responsible, who are trustworthy, and people who think of a united Federal Republic of Ambazonia. People who are positive about our future. People who are ready to be the Moses of our time to take us to the freedom land. So, local government area representatives, the local government area administrators will form part of the extended cabinet. Those elected and local government areas administrators will form part of the extended cabinet. You being part of the extended cabinet means that every decision, we talk of broad-based consultation, means that all decisions taken by the government will be based on broad-based consultation, which means the voice of the people in each local government area will be heard. That is the most important thing, because we don't want to leave any local government area behind. So the only way you can be able to make the voices of your people to be heard by the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, by the government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, is you have to be in there to tell us the needs of your people, to tell us the development which is going on in your area, to tell us the difficulties your people are facing. It is together that we are able to build a big society. Now, I may just deviate from this question and go to funding. Of course, we're going to raise monies in local government areas. But now, there is one thing which is clear. Not all local government areas are the same. They don't have the same potential. This one we know. So there will be some local government areas which I will class as impoverished local government areas, that they will not have enough people in the diaspora and enough supporters back at home who can be able to generate funds for self-defense, funds for humanitarian issues, and funds for other issues in that local government area. So to be able to ignite this solidarity, to bring this solidarity between all local government areas, to have that feeling of belonging together to the huge family of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, we came up after due deliberation with the idea of, from the 100% of money contributed in a specific local government area during this Amber Peace Plan, which we've divided into two phases, I'll come there later, 80% of the money donated will go into that local government area. 20% will go to the state, the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. The most important thing about the 20% is we will use this 20% on ground zero, all of it on ground zero, to support impoverished counties or impoverished local government areas. We will use it to support border local government areas, those local government areas bordering La Republique, which have borders with La Republique and are facing the weight or the pressure from the enemy. We will also support some local government areas we call hotspots. These hotspots are local government areas where the enemy is pounding our people, where the enemy is chasing our people in the bushes. We need resources for these local government areas. So it is that 20% solidarity fund which the local government areas contribute and send to the government that will be able to help us deal with these issues. So in that case, you still go back to we are building a big society, and the only way we can be a big society is we need to increase our capabilities at the same time. We leave nobody behind because we want every place to be secure. We want everybody to have food on the table. We want everybody to get the humanitarian care he or she needs and the medical care he or she needs. It's difficult time, it's ambitious, but I know we can do it. We can do it. It's not going to cost us a lot. So now, in order to implement the plan, this is the second phase of that question. We decided to say we're going to have two phases of the Amber Peace Plan. The very first phase of the Amber Peace Plan is a one-off donation. Now, if you ask me what is the cap? Now, the cap will be decided by the people of that local government area. I know some local government areas, they are giving a cap of $100 to all their members, to everybody who was born and bred in that local government area. So they are assuming if we are 1,000 of us, then it is 70,000 that will be generated. Then we will use 80% there and send 20% to the government to help other local government areas that do not have enough. So now, after that first phase, there's this phase of maintenance, whereby we can go into lower sums. It may be a 30 pounds or a 20 pounds in order to a monthly fee. So you pay monthly proceeds or you do money payments to your local government area to sustain efforts there. You'll be surprised that our schools will be back and up running. Our health centers will be good and up running because you are able to fund these areas. Because we need our people. We need to protect them. We need to give them hope. That is the most important thing. We are slaves now, but we'll be free. And we can only be free if we work together. Again, unity is key in this Amber Peace Plan. All of you from that same local government area, you grow up, you went to school together. Please start talking to each other. Leave the grammar behind. Start talking to each other. Start motivating each other. Start bringing solutions to your communities. Start building the big society we need. You will not regret it. You will be very proud of the face you're going to give to our people, to our areas. You'll be very proud of the joy you're going to create in the faces of many out there. There is a supermarket here, they call it Tesco. They have an adage, is read, or they have it under their main sign, Tesco, they say, every little helps. So please, nothing is too small to support the struggle. Nothing is too small to support the revolution. And nothing is too small in our journey towards freedom. I hope I was able to answer that question.
Of course, there is no two way I would have answered that question as you have done. You've put the thing in order. I still want to tell our viewers that we are still waiting for your questions. If there are questions you have, please send it through this email. If you can see losvelarry@hotmail.com, LOSVELARY@hotmail.com. So please send your questions. As I said, one of the architects of this Amber Peace Plan is here with us. And today is an opportunity for each and every one to listen and don't go out there and be getting all those misconceptions that people tell. You talked about we should forget this big grammar. Coming to big grammar. You know, when we spoke about this in the cabinet, yeah, and I made it today clear that I'm a mobilizer or a facilitator, but I am not so 100% covered with what I'm going to tell people. Today, I'm going up, my percentage is rising as you're explaining in depth of this APP, the Amber Peace Plan. And I also mentioned how we Ambazonians are so highly educated that each and every word count on us. When somebody says something, the interpretation goes in a broadband way. I've come to hear something that never struck me anytime: tribalism. So when I read and heard about it, that the Amber Peace Plan is promoting tribalism, I asked myself, but why not? You know, I will take example of myself. For those who are listening, look, I was in my family, I'm the only one who cannot speak the dialect efficiently, because when I talk to my mother, then every time in English or Pidgin, she will be so angry and say, oh, man, if he hide something with you when people they come around, you know, if he talk. So I just got angry and said, my God, if this country talk is to hide things, I will not learn it now. And that is how till today I went the wrong side of things. But my cousin always tell me that since the revolution started, my country talk has improved. And I'm so proud to get that plus. And I'm so proud to identify myself from Guti, from Bo. So I don't know. Tell me, why are some people thinking the Amber Peace Plan promotes tribalism? Because I will tell you, I'm totally zero on that point. I can't understand anything. Instead, I was glad to be identified of coming somewhere in Amazonia. So, Secretary Ambrose, you can really say something on that, please.
Secretary Elad, sincerely, I've received lots of questions around this issue of tribalism. And as we are talking, I was laughing because these are things that make me really laugh, because there's one thing you need to be proud of, my fellow Amazonians, is diversity, okay? If there is diversity in any country, it is in the Federal Republic of Amazonia. We need to be proud about that, actually. I'm wearing this thing proudly because it's not, don't be ashamed to belong to a tribe. That is what makes you stronger. You should strive to collaborate with your brothers and sisters. Things we have done, things our ancestors have done. We did not only do trading among ourselves, we started trading with fellow tribes, the different tribes. That is how we constructed that huge Amazonia we have today. Let nobody be afraid. Those who want to be warlords will not have a place in Amazonia. Let me repeat again. Those who want to be warlords will not have a place in Amazonian, because we are saying our communities now are supposed to have people who are elected, who are responsible. That responsibility starts in you talking to the foot soldiers on the ground, to the farmers on the ground. That responsibility starts in you meeting the needs of the people. That responsibility starts in you implementing governance to the lowest level, to the grassroots level. We should not be quick to assume that because we are organizing ourselves into structures, existing structures. These are existing structures. This is nothing novel to us. This is nothing new to us. We grew up knowing that we belong to tribes, we spoke those languages and all that. Nothing stopped us having friends from different areas. Nothing stopped us building the Amazonia we wanted to build. We've suffered so much, you know. Let me tell you, we grew up trying to get the best out of life, doing well in secondary school, whether it's GCA ordinary level, GCA advanced level, working so hard. But at the end, you hit the rock when you finish there because you don't have opportunities. Nothing stopped us. That's why some of us are in Europe, because we never allow ourselves to be defeated. So the idea of belonging to a place is can be explained here, like in the United Kingdom, right? This is a beautiful country. They accept diversity. A lot of Black people, a lot of Asians, people from all over, okay? But now if you look at the core of the United Kingdom, it is made of Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and England. Let me tell you, you go to a pub to watch football, when England is playing against Scotland, you will not believe that we all belong to the United Kingdom, but it's just a game. We know that. In 90 minutes, we do banter with each other, but the whole thing is we belong to one nation. We are proud to belong to that one nation. That is what, this pride is what you should transform as Ambazonians. You have cultural meetings. People should come there from different cultures to come and support you, raise funds for your local government area. Nanjangi, where you put them. I come for your own. You say, you come for my own. When we did do and so, we will support all Ambazonians. When I go surprise to see society where we belong, a lovely society. That so far it will finish. So get the beauty of belonging. These structures already exist, and the best way you can be able to make things happen is leverage existing structure. There's no need to go and reinvent the wheel. These things are there, and they have never caused warlords issue. Why should they now? Please. Everything is think about your brother, collaborate with your next neighbor, the people in a local government area, like in a county, like Momo, which has 5 local government areas. We are expecting people from Mogamo, Widiko, Ngi, Jikwa, Meta to come together and collaborate. Now, I will take this discussion to a different level. Now, we're going to look at administrative structures. I didn't explain this when I was talking earlier. Now, when you've constructed that foundation, which is your local government areas, now we want to build the county. So the people in that county from the different local government areas now already have their structures, they are comfortable. Now they will come together and elect a county chair. My words are clear, county chair. Why I do expect that county chairs to be elected is because we want people who are responsible, people who are trustworthy, people who think about the Federal Republic of Ambazonia to be county chairs of different counties. These individuals must be selfless. These individuals must be servants of our land. These are the people who make the difference in our society. So when you are making those decisions to elect your county chair from the already existing local government areas that are already a good foundation, then make sure you get people in who are responsible, who are trustworthy, people you can count on. So when you do this, he cannot work alone. So you need to give him an executive. So now we need what? Not proportional. Remember, I'm going to use 2 words here. Not proportional, but equal representation at the level of the council, of the level of the county council. If you are getting people into communication, make sure that every county should get, for example, a county that has 5 local government areas, every local government area should be represented in that communication committee. Because we want to transmit information. If we discuss things in the committee and we want this information to go and we want to keep it secret, then these individuals who then speak the dialect can be able to now broadcast, pass this information to their people. If it is about forming a defense council, you can take 3 individuals from every local government area. This means the voices of the people in the local government areas are always heard. We don't want to form a county whereby everybody in the county executive is from one local government area. Then we are not achieving the goal of making the voices of our people heard. It is important we look at this thing. We start with the micro structure, which is out there, And then we grow up to a different tier. The different tier is the county, and that tier will have a base, a solid base, because we are bringing in responsible people from our communities, from our local government areas, to be able to organize affairs at the level of the county. And as we have, which means at the end, we will have 14 county chairs all over our territory. Again, people talk of governance. Again, you need to read. There's a lot of information out there on the ambazoniangov.com, which we have, like the draft constitution, which we have like the constitution. Our draft constitution clearly state we will have 3 states. So in the end, when we get to Boya, and that is unveiled, we will have 3 governors for those states. Right now, we have to have county chairs, and the county chairs in the diaspora are for mobilization of resources, and they have to work hand in glove or closely with the people on ground zero to make sure that we solve the problems our people are facing, to make sure that we generate the income we need here to be able to support our people. I hope that helps.
Yeah. No. Before you finish this area of county chair, you know, there is this conflict of interest, because let me take an example like a country where I am now, Germany. We have elected our country coordinator, country executive. We have a full-fledged executive functioning in Germany. And now you talk of country chair. Should in case, for example, the country chair, maybe the county chair, maybe cannot be from Germany. Should in case it's in Germany now, that county chair now works with their counties. How do the country executive under the country coordinator, for taking an example like Germany, that we have, as I said, our full-fledged executive, how do they work together without any conflict of interest?
Again, these things are distinct, okay? What I just explained earlier is a parallel structure, okay? Parallel structure in terms of representatives in a country now collaborating because they belong to a particular county, they are collaborating with other representatives of that county, of that local or that county all over the world. Again, it's parallel collaboration. Then now in the countries where we live, our countries of residence, like for example, in the United Kingdom, what we expect is, so now we have, let's say 60 LGAs, okay? Now they will elect LGA representatives for their local government areas. This one will work closely with the existing country coordinators or state coordinators, like in the US. This is going to help them, because I know the country coordinators have really struggled in the past because, well, they were lucky because some groups existed. Like in the UK, we had Friends of Liberty, Southern Cameroon Community UK, and other groups that you could be able to call the group president and say, okay, I'm going to organize a demonstration. Can you be able to mobilize your people to come? Have we ever had efficient mobilization? I don't think we have had, although we've done something. So now, imagine if we are blessed to have 60 representatives of local government areas in a country who are working closely with the country head. Now, as the country head, for example, if you are a country head of Germany, you just need to have that list of 60 representatives. You call them and say, Papa, now how many people you bring at this time for demo? You've even planned ahead to know exactly how many people will be attending a demonstration, because he has to commit himself to talking to members of his communities, getting their availabilities, and then passing this information to you. You're going to be more organized. Like on the 14th of November, we are going to the House of Lords for a debate. Yes, I will expect more than 1,000 Southern Cameroonians to be there in front of the House of Lords. Those who can go in, to make sure that they feel the pressure we want to put on them. So how do we do this? If we had these 60 individuals, I could be very sure that the country head of the UK, Boniface Ngu, should go now, call these 60 representatives and say, please, how many people are you going to bring to the House of Lords on the 14th of November? And he can be able to probably say 1,000 or 2,000 Southern Cameroonians will be there, because it's a big debate. They want to talk about the issues of Southern Cameroon in the House of Lords. That would be the good way for him to do the mobilization and motivation for people to come. So those who are elected as representatives here, they will work hand in hand with the existing country heads who have been doing enormous work to bring us to where we are right now. And again, as I said, I went to the country heads meeting. I said, they are supposed to be the champions of this AMBA peace plan. They are the people supposed to foster this AMBA peace plan wherever they are country heads or state coordinators. I'm happy they are engaged now trying to do it. Please, we need you, that you do more, and we are proud of you, and we continue to see that you work selflessly and help the people of Ambazonia come together, raise funds for their people. Again, we need to raise funds more than ever. We need to donate more than ever, please. I know we can, but again, we need to start doing it. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Ambrose. You've, for a short period of time, we started about 10 after 8 German time, and anybody can reduce that in his or her own area. And for just say for the 40 minutes, you have done a tremendous job. And let me just take you to some technicalities before we go to something bigger now. What is the medium short-term goal of the AMBA peace plan? So what are we having expecting some deadlines of our people to meet up with the terms of mobilization, electing the worldwide LGA administration, fundraise and for ground zero and all those type of things? Do you have anything to tell us about it?
No, sure. There's much about this. I would have been happy to come to you today and read a list of all these 60 LGA administrators already elected. But unfortunately, this process, I will apologize, has been a bit slow, but from the inputs I get from social media, I just believe many people are getting engaged in trying to do the things. But what I will encourage people to do is simple. Please go on doing things and stop talking too much. And it's not how much you write on social media that will make these things happen. It is what you do, just go on and start doing things. We are expecting that by the end of November, we should be having the last local government area to be able to send in a representative. Because there's one beauty about this is the Restoration Council, pending the approval of the Restoration Council, those who are elected as LGA representatives or LGA administrators who form part of the lower House of Representatives. That will be its honorables anyway. So because you are contributing so much to society, there is need for you to be there, to be able to debate about what is happening in our society, to be able to contribute ideas about what we want Ambazonia to be, and to be able to act as the referee for everything that is going on, where we know a lot of things are going on down there. These things are bound to happen, but we need people who are going to act as the referees in their local government area to say, please stop, turn back, take a 360 degrees feedback and see where we are going. We know tempers will boil, but the whole thing is we have one goal, which is to be able to free our people. The restoration forces, they have the same goal. Apropos talking of the restoration forces, I believe I will come to that later, because you may be asking yourself, oh, how is it structured there? I've been talking so much about the civil society. We will be able to talk about that society too, which is the defense unit later on, if you give me the chance. Yeah.
Well, of course. Well, before you go on that, I would like to inform our viewers that there is a list circulating for the local government area. So please identify your local government area. And also there will be an AP Zoom county by county outreach. So contact your country heads for the link, and then go to www.peaceplan@ambazoniagov.org and email your desire to reach out to your local government area. So some volunteers, person term local government area facilitators that you just explained to the viewers will assist to link us or anyone going there to your local government area. And I hope the country heads have gotten from, we say, the horse's mouth, and will supply the contacts of the local government mobilization consultant of the various country of origin. So, yeah, you just said you have the opportunity on this structure. I was just about to come on that because that is very important. I will just give you the go ahead to talk on this structure because this thing is, we can talk and talk and talk, and if we don't put the foundation, we're going nowhere. So can you just elaborate on that structure you wanted to explain?
Okay. Well, I think most Ambazonians know what they talk of the AAC. We know of the SOCADEV, we know of the AGC. We know that these are people who have been picking up bullets for us down there. I admire the bravery of the foot soldiers. I mean, this is real self-defense because most of them are being chased into the bushes and then they still go to look for them to kill them. Keep on doing just that. You are heroes. Those who have died, I would say, will live. You will remain in our memories. We'll keep on hoping that your blood was not spilled in vain, and we should be able to get the freedom we need for the next generation, for our children, for our brothers and sisters. Again, I may not be there when you're celebrating in Boya, but if I'm there, I will celebrate with you. And I will remember those people, the fallen heroes. We'll set up memorials for them. We'll do a lot for the families they've left behind. As the Home Affairs and Resource Mobilization, I think my job now with the team I'm working with, the beautiful team I'm working with, is now trying to get complete statistics, the extensive statistics of the fallen heroes, the extensive statistics of those who have been injured, especially those shot on the leg for no good reason. You get a bullet on your leg because you can't be able to run away from danger. We have a lot in the list because I was talking, when I work with the Health and Social Services Under Secretary Khalej, I mean, we saw horrible images, really horrible images of people shot in the arm, on their legs, and lots of young people who are in their need of medical assistance. To those who have died, we'll say we did our best, but was that good enough? I don't think, because finances have always been a problem for us. And then again, looking at those in prisons, it's a pity that we have lots of young people who are in jail just because they are speaking for their freedom. They are fighting for their freedom. Lots in Kundenge, so many in SED that we not heard anything about. And we don't even know how many have been killed. So we'll be doing a lot of consultation with families to be able to get these statistics so that we know the extent of the genocide in Southern Cameroon, the extent of the barbarity of La République de Cameroon in our country. So we already, through the ASC and other organizations, the AGC and SOCADEV, have groups of people, restoration forces defending our land. In every area, we do have, like local government areas, we do have battalions of boys doing that. At the level of the country, we have brigades. So now, and if it's the level of a village, if there's one there, then it's a company, which means that we already have this structure in place. That's why when I talk of the Defense Council, it means that we'll be having responsible individuals who will be able to work to identify the needs of these boys and meet up with the needs of these people. They'll be able to identify those who are injured and be able to help them. They'll be able to identify those those who are suffering from famine, or those who are close to dying because of their injuries, and be able to help them have some hope as they defend our land. So rest assured that as you are electing people for your local government areas, people for the county, these structures are already in place. And again, I will stress here, my brothers and sisters, the restoration forces on the ground, the true fighters on the ground, should not be color-coded. Whether you are under ASC, or you are under SOCADEV, or you are under AGC, or any other restoration force, please let us in the diaspora look at these, our brothers and sisters. First of all, admire their bravery and see them as one unit. They are not different from us. Don't say because he's a soldier for AGC, he's a soldier for ASC, he's a soldier for SOCADEV, it's different. No, you're doing one job. You're defending your people. Remain proud about that. For all the generals on the ground, please, your job, as you listen to me today, your job is to create that unity we need. Because as we go to local government area by local government area, the funds that we are going to generate are for all of you in that local government area. You get to know those who are in charge and ask them, where are my own funds for the injured? Where are my own funds to feed my brothers and sisters? All of you, again, I repeat, all of you, you should work together. That is my plea today. It saddens me when I see scoffers among restoration forces. Then it means you do not understand the big goal, the big picture of this struggle. Again, I know there are certain situations which we can understand that they are infiltrators whose motive is to destroy the good work of the restoration forces. Please, parents, I know times are hard. I know these children are tempted by the money from the evil regime. Please, talk to your children. Let them work together for one single goal, which is the restoration of our independence. And let us make us remain proud of our restoration forces. Because when I see the videos of the things they go through, I will tell you, I take off my heart for all of them, and I salute them. Every day, I pray for all of you, every single day. All the restoration forces, no matter to which group they belong, I pray for all of you because I know without you, there will be no single soul left in most parts of southern Cameroon. We've seen villages that have been erased, whether it's Kwakwa, Tikombe, everywhere, every day. There's a burning machine. The soldiers go around with petrol, with diesel, with fuel, to be able to burn our houses. It's the pain about all this is, these are places in which we grow. Some of our ancestors, our grandfathers, our grandmothers, brothers and sisters were buried in front of our doors. We have everything there, and suddenly everything has been wiped out. If this is not a genocide, what is it? You kill people, you drive away people. Why destroy their structures? And now, I watch the news, the foreign news from La Republique. With sadness in my heart, you destroy whole villages, and you bring a truck of cement to come and buy them. You've beaten these people, you've tortured them, you've taken everything from them, and you think you can still come and buy them. Lord have mercy on you. The blood of innocent people, the soldiers of La Republique are spinning. It will haunt you. And for those are brothers in the military, please. It is sad to see that a brother of ours dies in the military. The case in Garum, it was really sad to see a brother, a colonel, goes and die, trying to kill his own brothers and sisters. Where are your consciences? Please, we need you. We need a world. For those who are non-Ambazonians watching us today, we need you to be able to spread the word, because as His Excellency Sissoko Ayutabe said, if you want to kill all of us, so be it. But let me tell you, you never defeat us. We are all warriors, and we will prevail. We will be free. It's not going to be long. So the only way each and every Ambazonian who is watching me today can be able to bring this freedom is to dig deep into your pockets, support your local government areas, support initiatives for Ambazonian. Thank you.
Wow, you've given me some goose flesh on my skin with these thoughts and memories of all those who have been shot, killed. I would just like to add a few points on this, on my fellow viewers, Ambazonians. I take these foreign elections in La Republique as a sign of good faith. That is, when I mean a sign of good faith, I mean, I want to say it is an opportunity for Ambazonians to know that we have been acting as the shield for La Republique. It's an opportunity to see with our own eyes that every progress towards democracy that has been happening in this so-called Cameroon then was our blood, multi-party, GCA board, whatever you can name them. We were killed before those things were given. And today, we can see that their own son of their soil won the election and was taken by another son of their soil. And they are sitting there. I've been receiving calls here in my house asking me that we should forget about all our differences, that they never came to our aid when we started our own revolution, and we should keep all the angers aside and then come and join them because we have a common enemy. I told them, no, we don't have a common enemy. Paul Biya is absolutely nobody for us. He is somebody, we call his name because he's sending his terrorists to come and kill our people in our own land. Apart of that, he is nobody. And I asked them a simple question. We have our symbol, we have our national anthem, we have our territory, and we have our flag. And you're calling us to come and join with you people. So are we coming with our Ambazonia flag, and then we are singing the Hail of Glory, this land of glory, and you people are singing your old Cameroon with your green, red, yellow? How do people going to understand us? There is no way we can come and join you people and fight Paul Biya. And for one thing to make it clear, we are not your shield. We are not the people to fight for your liberty. We are fighting for our own liberty. You can fight for yours. So I just bring this up for the people of Ambazonia to see that we have been feeding these people in all areas of understanding, whether it's food, money, energy, manpower, whatever we do for them. And today, they are stuck without us. That is their problem. So thank you for that. We have been 1 hour and above. And well, there is a question I'm having here. I said today that the people's questions should be based on the local government peace plan, but it's difficult to control people, and I don't want any Ambazonia. I always say no Ambazonia is ever left behind. So I have a question here. The person just said, writing from ground zero. And I would like both of you are cabinet members, and we in ground zero support the IG totally. We in ground zero support the IG totally, and we stand behind the IG. Thank you for that. Whoever wrote this, then there's no name there. How do you people make your decision in the IG with all the controversies that surround the AP, Dr. Sako? So, well, as the Secretary for Home Affairs and Mobilization, I will give you to just answer that short because I have a question that is really on concerning your department before we go. Can you just, how do you people make your decision in the cabinet with all the controversies that surround the AP, Dr. Sako? That is a question coming from ground zero.
Okay. Controversy is a word. I don't want to define it, you know. I don't think, because now, why should there be controversies around Dr. Sako? We do read a lot of things. I don't think, even when His Excellency Siseko Ayutabe was the president of the interim government, or when Atamilan was there, or when Patasan was there for Skakov, we get this thing. People talk about controversy around our leaders. The whole thing is, if you see the effort these people are putting on daily basis in terms of meeting the people, in terms of meeting, trying to secure this for Ambazonian, trying to build this nation, you will not believe your eyes. As the Secretary of Foreign Affairs, I know your plate is full. It is not just about the cabinet meetings you have, or the departmental meetings you have, or the diplomatic missions. Apropos of diplomatic missions, I'll come back to that because I will have to ask you, how do you think these things are funded? And I will tell you, you have to come back, pay your citizenship levy, which we said, if you pay $1 a day for 30 days, you should be able to pay $30 to support diplomatic efforts, to support legal fees for our people. We have lots of people who are detained. We have lawyers. We have to pay their flights. We have to pay their transport to go and support, defend these people. We have people in prisons that we feed, the internally displaced. We have refugees that we support. So for these government services or things that the government do, we encourage people to register and pay their citizenship levy. That is the only way you can be able to sustain the government. So now, if the individual was specific about which controversies, and it would have helped me to be able to talk around that. But the whole thing is, when you be there up there as the leader of Ambazonian, you will understand what it means to get up every morning, if you even have sleep, to start thinking Ambazonian. He thinks Ambazonian every minute. He eats Ambazonian, he walks Ambazonian, he sleeps Ambazonian. He doesn't have a life, you know. But again, we must cherish his efforts. As cabinet members, as people wanting to build a big society, you should be asking yourself, what am I doing to contribute to the success of this government? What am I doing to contribute to the freedom of Ambazonian? Is it enough to just criticize? Is it enough to just forward messages? Can I do more? These are the things you should get up every morning. If you are a true Ambazonian, whether you're on ground zero in the diaspora, on ground zero, I should expect people on ground zero to be asking themselves, how much am I helping the internally displaced? How much am I putting in to help the internally displaced? How much am I helping these boys who are defending our nation, who have abandoned their families? Can I identify some of these families and start feeding them? Ask yourself these questions every day you wake up. Those in the diaspora, we've given you a golden opportunity now. Go back to your local government area, to your roots. Fund your people there. You will sleep and you'll be secure. There's one thing we want to offer through the ambazoniangov.org. We want to offer statistics that will be able to show everybody how much each local government area has contributed, how the funds has been used. The intention is this will be able to encourage other local government areas that are underperforming to do more for their people. Projects will be carried on in local government areas, be it water project, be it electricity project with solar panels, and lots of projects will be carried on because we want to build our society, we want to take power back, we want to make our people dream about the true Federal Republic of Ambazonia. So we have to start doing these things. It is a community development effort, which we are selling as Amba Peace Plan. Defending your county, local government area by local government area. Get engaged, do something. Don't just sit and forward messages or write and criticize people or make audios. The most important thing in this revolution and the set of people in this revolution that I rightly respect, but with no disrespect to anybody, are those who do the things, those who work hard to make sure that things happen, those who are bright minds, who are proactive and think well ahead. You are all smart minds, please. Ambazonians, those in the diasporas, those back at home, you're too intelligent. Your resilience is higher than anyone in this world. No nation has ever been so solid against a despot that you've been. But again, there's one thing and one thing only. A few individuals, I will repeat, a few individuals are destroying your good work. It is time, as brothers and sisters, to point fingers to these individuals and tell them, please, you beat a child and put him inside the house. You don't throw that child outside. These are the things we have to do to move on. We cannot continue to see people destroying the good work that you are putting in because we want to get to prayer. We want to be free. But again, let's stop making silly mistakes. We are building a foundation. We are turning the corner and we are heading to the home straight. So let's be organized as we go forward. From today on, let us be different people. Let us embrace differences, in opinions. That is very important. It is not just because I differ in opinion or in their ideologies that we should fight. There must always be a common denominator, something, and that is Ambazonia. It is homeland where we belong to. So that is what is attractive to all of us, the freedom of our people. That is all we want and nothing else. Most of you out here, you're independent business people, you are realized professionals, you are everything. But again, don't rest on your laurels. If the people back at home are suffering, if the people back at home are being persecuted every day, you have to do something, my brother. Let your conscience guide you to do more, to give more. For those who don't have enough, please, every little helps. So please, register, pay your citizenship levy, contribute to your local government area, make this big society we are intending to build a really solid big society whereby all of us will be proud to say we contributed to this free Ambazonian. And we can sing a national anthem with pride because we did it. We'll celebrate it as if we scored 1,000 goals in a single minute. But please do your job. That's the most important thing. Don't just sit and talk and talk. Please do something to support the revolution. Do something to support the suffering people of Ambazonia. Do something. Be it intelligent works, be it financially, be it morally, be it spiritually, please. Just do something. And stop criticizing everything people do. Please. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Ambrose. We are about to, there are some questions here, but I've read through and I'm saying that you have answered all these questions. They're talking about accountability on the LGA. They talk of transparency, structure. Someone is asking on how the structure will be built. You already talked on that. Electing their own, you already talked on that. So, fellow viewers, I think you sent your question earlier and you've already heard the answers of all these questions, so we won't waste time going through again. Just to add more about the controversy, I want to first of all thank the person who sent this email that they are fully in support behind the IG. I'm happy for that. Thank you so much for that confidence. And I just want to make fellow viewers also to know that the AP, Dr. Sako, is the acting interim president, but he is not making decision on us. Because many people sit there and think we are just sitting in the cabinet and Dr. Sako comes and tell us that he's doing this, or he doesn't even tell us no. In fact, he was with us here recently in Germany, and I told him, please stop keeping all these things in your mind. Tell the people the truth. Because when this man brings anything that he suggests to the cabinet, which is highly debated, and he has been hammered on, and we go on voting before any decision is being taken. I hear some people say hand clappers, call us all type of names. No, there is no controversy hanging on the AP. If there is any controversy, it's hanging on all of us in that cabinet. Because he does not, well, I don't want to use the word command, because yeah, he commands as the commander in chief, but he does not impose his views on us. We always democratically accept on something. And many people have written to me talking about Chris Anu. Chris Anu doesn't make decisions. Chris Anu never goes out to talk to the people without authority coming from the cabinet, giving him that opportunity. Whether he does it well or he does it wrong is our fault. We are collectively blamed on it. Stop blaming on special people, Dr. Sako, Chris Anu. No, it's our fault. If the decision was right, then the credit goes to the cabinet. If it's wrong, the credit goes to the punishment goes to the cabinet. So I know Dr. Sako is the head. He carries all the blows from left to right. That is all what we do. The same thing. If something goes wrong in the foreign department, I will carry all the blames. Even if I'm the one who did it wrong or not, I carry the blame on me. So let the people know out there that we don't just sit there and listen to Dr. Sako comes and tell us what to do, and we just go out there and do it, even if it's wrong or right. So there's no controversy hanging on him. If there is controversy, it's hanging on us, the cabinet members. So before we go, I would just like to get a point on you now, because we're already an hour and a half, and I think it's time we'll be closing down. Coming to your department, what are your general consideration on the state of this revolution now? Is the State Department that you had structured to meet the vision of this IG? So this is a question I would like you to really give us confidence, because there is a lot of people out there saying the revolution is spoiled, the revolution has died down. There is all this funny arguments. For me, I don't want to give my own opinion. You, as the Secretary of Home Affairs, how do you see the state of the revolution today? And I think that question will be the last question before we close down.
Okay, Secretary Elad, thank you. Concerning the state of the revolution today, if one put on a scale from 0 to 10, will be biased, okay? But at one point, in trying to answer this question, I might be able to attribute a value to that range. One thing which is clear is the way I've seen this struggle evolve is like a relay. It's a race. And the good thing about this race is we have a baton or we have a stake. You need to change as you go in. So as we grew up, we saw a lot of people carrying the banner of SCNC. Some of us, we know them, some of them we thought they were crazy and all the like. They kept on racing. Then we had a series of people coming on and taking over from them and pushing the revolution to a higher level. Then 2016, things turned around. We saw lawyers getting involved. We saw teachers getting involved because they have taken everything we had, completely. They've taken everything. They've taken the judiciary, they're taking the educational system, everything. Power camp no longer exists. PWD no longer exists. Medino, not everything was taken away from us. Electricity, we depend on IDEA to provide electricity. When we have the Yoke Dam there, when we have the Mention Fall. So virtually they've taken everything away from us. The mobile police we no longer have. We left with nothing. And then our only school system, our judicial system was taken away. So these people came up now, as you all know, and said, enough is enough. You need to listen to us. That's why we are where we are today, because the reception of this message, which we sent to them, starting with Honorable Weaver in their parliament, and then going through our lawyers and coming also from the diaspora, brave diasporans for the many demonstrations under all sorts of weather. I remember in front of Wall Street and number 10 in December, it was freezing cold. But people were still there to demonstrate, to say enough is enough, pushing this message. So we can't forget all these people. I mean, we've pushed the revolution to unprecedented levels. We are at a point, I would say, I think we are on halfway, level 5. It's not bad because normally it's more from 0 to level 5. And then we may even be jumping levels from now on. My department, Home Affairs, extended and added the resource mobilization, is committed. I repeat, we are committed to making sure we bring policies into the government, passed to our people, that will be able to help, in the first place, protect our people, provide intelligence that will save lives, feed our people, and prevent famine. And most of all, prevent genocide in southern Cameroon. This one, we are working together in close collaboration with Secretary Elad here from the Department of Foreign Affairs, with Bishop John Ijawang from the Department of Homeland Security, to make sure that these things happen. Secretary Elad is committed to make sure that we go talking to people, be it to the Commonwealth, be it to the Foreign Office, be it to the British government, be it to Australian government, Canadian government, Ghanaian government, Kenya, and all the like. We are knocking all doors to make sure that the voices of our people on the ground are heard. There are people on the ground talking to people in the African Union. There are people on the ground talking to people in the United Nations. There are people everywhere knocking every door, whether be it Brazil, be it Ecuador, be it Honduras, any nation. We are doing our best to make sure the cry of our people, the tears of our people are wiped one day. We're not sleeping. So my department has this objective to make sure we generate funds for the revolution. This project, Amber Peace Plan, is one of our projects. Then, in order to build upon this, I will tell you we have a second project in the pipeline. We have devoted people in the Department of Identity and Passports who are working so hard to provide structures, to provide software, to provide a platform for us to be able to generate our first identity cards for Southern Cameroonians in the diaspora.
Good job, bravo.
So I can say this project is almost 90% gone, and we have some few months or weeks to be able to provide identity card for our people. You should be proud to hold your first Amazonian identity card. Exactly. And to support the revolution. So these are the two main projects in our department. And we are going for a third project, which I won't mention here, but it's still another project that will help generate the income we need to support our people on ground zero. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Secretary Ambrose. And in fact, we have used what we put as the heading of this discussion today, in-depth, and we've really done the in-depth of all what we have been doing. And televiewers, please, you've heard everything from the Secretary of Homeland and Mobilization. It's now depend on you. Contact your local government areas, contact your facilitators, contact the country heads, register on your local government areas. And I will use this opportunity to call on my Nguti local government area people, because you've heard it. In fact, we are sleeping. I don't know. Let me use this opportunity today, worldwide, to tell them both people, where are you people in this revolution? Why are you sleeping? What are you waiting? What are you waiting? Are you waiting for the day that will arrive, Boya, before you come, or the day will not arrive before you come? So please, I am calling on my own Bo people, the people of Nguti local government, Mbeta, Njungu, all the areas, Ndinta. Please come out, and let's make sure we facilitate our arriving to Boya. Because I am telling you, I was discussing today with Father Eswa. And if we want to count the Bo people who are in this revolution, it's like if that village or that area, those tribal population group doesn't exist. I'm so ashamed. And when you can't count this, you talked about the SCNC. I remember when my uncle, Barrister Kundang Elad, was going to the meeting of SCNC. I was a child. They used to take us there, and I didn't know anything what we were going to do there. All I was enjoying to go there was to eat kupang biscuit and drink grenadine to make my tongue red. But I did not know I was building a foundation to be today one of the front runners of this revolution. So the Mbo people, the Nguti area people. I'm really ashamed that one of your own son of the soil is standing in front there and you guys are sleeping behind. But take note, it's not a threat, but we'll fish everybody out. So I want to thank you, Secretary Ambrose. I don't know if you have a last word to say to the people before we go, just for a few minutes, and then.
Okay, Secretary Elad, thank you so much for gathering the questions from the people and bringing these questions to me to be able to, provide answers. Again, I won't say this is a silver bullet, this project that is going to work, but I know it's already working in some local government areas. That is why it is important we put in so much effort. Please, the only thing I will beg from everybody is there is one thing we need, and we need to be united. It is this unity as brothers and sisters that is going to help us help brothers and sisters on ground zero. These people, most of them, lack food. I received a message today which saddens me and which I would like to talk directly to ground zero now is, please, for those drivers who are exploiting our people by increasing fares from 1,000 to leave Bamenda to Njinikom, now it used to cost 1,000 francs, and some people even take 10,000 francs for that journey. Please, be fair to all of us. We are all in this together. Do your own job. Transport these people at affordable prices. I know it's hard to get by with the fuel you need to be able to run your car and services. Please.
Yeah.
At one point, the people of Jenikon, the people of Boyo will be able to help. So please, do not put a lot of hardship on our people, because we are already suffering so much injustice from all corners, from all angles. For those who have decided to be putting food prices up, I hear in some areas a cube of Maggi is now 100, which we used to buy for 10 francs, 20 francs, 25 francs, and it's now 100 francs CFA. Please, let your consciences guide you. Please, talk with fellow business people. Let's put these prices down. Let's not put a lot of duress on our people. They are already very stressed. Let's not put so much burden on them. This war that was declared on Southern Cameroonians, we're not prepared for any war. All we did is we went out with peace plans and marched to give our message. Now, we find ourselves in bushes. We find ourselves being haunted. We find young men and women being killed every moment. I believe this time of the night that I'm talking, there is an enemy somewhere waiting to go and assassinate our people, assassinate our boys. But Lord God, please, intelligence, which I spoke about, is you hiding somewhere, seeing the enemy going somewhere to go and kill people, sending a message to that people, to those individuals, and say, please, there is danger in the air. Run away from there. The snake is sneaking in. I expect that from everybody. We are almost 5 million to 6 million on ground zero. Please help each other. Work together. Keep everybody safe. And for those of us in the diaspora, you know what to do. Please go to your LGAs, contribute, support their efforts. I think that is it. And Secretary Elad, thank you so much for taking time out to join me today to talk to our people, to build our nation, to give the confidence our people deserve, and to give the directives they need in order to implement the AMBA Peace Plan. For those who contributed so much in terms of ideas like you, Mark Barata, Eric Tato, the AP, and then the country heads, and lots of others that we drafted in to be able to make these policies. Please keep on doing the good work you're doing. Before I go, there's one thing I should have been able to explain, because we got some questions about, what is the difference between county and county, LGA by LGA? Please, these things, we are smart people. Ambazonians are intelligent people. We can be able to work with these two things. These are just concepts. But the one good thing is, you want to build a house, you don't start by putting the roof, you start by putting the foundation. So do your foundation and everything will fall in place. You find your counties falling in place, everything's so smooth and everything is working. Just as I'm dreaming, just as Eric Tato is dreaming, just as Mark Barata is dreaming, just as each and every Ambazonian is dreaming. That is all I can offer today. And if there are any questions, please make sure you hit our doors. Our director for LGA mobilization has an email, which is the AMBA Peace Plan at ambazoniangov.org, AMBA Peace Plan at ambazoniangov.org, which you can send your questions to, you can contact, or if you have any issue, you can contact me anyway. So thank you all, and I wish you a wonderful Ghost Town Monday tomorrow and a wonderful week. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Secretary Ambrose, and thanks to all the technical team for enabling this evening, afternoon, morning, wherever each and every viewer is watching. Thanks especially to the people of Ground Zero for watching directly, and thanks to ABC. So everyone, all the viewers have heard, please engage in joining your local government areas. As I was preparing to come online live today with you, I saw this book and I was reading. It's about Europeans building their citizenship. That is it. Here in Europe, they are still also building their own. So it's not something. And there was a place there that triggered to how change had been triggered, and is written there in Spanish: "Aquí vivo, aquí voto pa una ciudadanía plena," which means I live here, I vote here towards a full citizenship. So you can see the importance of this local government area. Something. It's not a concept that has just come from somewhere in space. It's something that is moving all around the world. And so thank everyone for supporting up till this hour. We've made exactly 2 hours here today. I think it's 2 hours of important information, in-depth analysis of the local government peace plan. Thank you again, Secretary Ambrose, and thank all your team in the mobilization and the home affairs, and thanks every Ambazonian for all what we have been doing together until where we are today. So that is it, and have a wonderful day, night, morning, everywhere you are in the world. Once again, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.